A wall separates Israel from the Palestinian territories. One side wants protection against terrorism, the other freedom of movement for its citizens.
Please be seated.
For years now, Israelis and Palestinians have been defending their positions at the International Court of Justice, or ICJ. This is a typical case for the world's oldest international tribunal, which is, according to the UN Charter, the main judicial organ of the United Nations. It's been based in the Netherlands since 1946. The ICJ functions as a permanent court. It hears legal disputes between UN member states and is authorized by the United Nations itself. It was a long time before an international court began considering a different approach and focusing on the legal principle of personal responsibility of an individual for war crimes and genocide.
It was never implemented because of the Cold War. It was the Yugoslavia conflict that reignited this old idea after 1990.
In 1993, the UN Security Council agreed to set up a new kind of tribunal, a special court exclusively for crimes committed during the Yugoslavia conflict. It was also based in The Hague. Other such tribunals followed to try those accused of genocide in Rwanda, Cambodia and Sierra Leone, and recently to investigate the murder of former Lebanese Prime Minister Rafik Hariri. These are all what's known as ad hoc courts, operating over a limited period of time. They hear cases against individuals, not states, under the authority of the United Nations. UN jurisdiction has achieved some notable results. Former heads of state have had to appear before the special tribunals, including former Liberian President Charles Taylor, who is currently answering charges in The Hague. But although the courts are underpinned by the might of the UN Security Council, therein also lies their weakness.
There are only 15 countries on the Security Council, and many countries have the feeling that an international criminal jurisdiction should rest on a rather broader foundation.
In 1998, 120 countries voted in favor of what's known as the Rome Statute. The International Criminal Court, or ICC, an independent global institution, was born. It took up its work in 2002 as a permanent court, hearing cases against individuals. Instead of the UN, it is authorized through its own statute. The US, Russia and China still refuse to recognize the ICC, although in the framework of the Security Council, they consulted Chief Prosecutor Luis Moreno Ocampo on the Darfur crisis and even commissioned him to investigate crimes committed there. It was 18 years ago that the Yugoslavian war provided the initial impulse for this global push for justice, but the process clearly still has some way to go.